coming into this last week. Of course, they still had EDG as a last bit of scheduling, and they didn't do well there. But regardless of that, going into that, that's going to be a great send-off in terms of having that experience, being able to play against the top competition coming in.
I'll see what he can do. I want to look towards the mid lane
소환사의
here as well,
협곡에
because
오신
Westor
것을
has actually played more than Chowie,
환영합니다.
and we saw sort of Westor take a more backseat role. Chowie was
Wait a
the one
minute.
that.
Chowie's been playing a lot more than Westor.
Well, it's actually he's got 7 and Westor's got 10 at the moment in this current.
That's not true.
미니언 생성까지 30초
Man,
남았습니다.
someone.
Wow, he
really
just
bring
you
me
literally
the
just
wrong bone.
fouled you out.
Yeah, no,
that was like
please,
a red card.
Please, Raz, this is why you're the analyst.
I've got
Explain.
you. See, because Chowie coming in, I know that there's always been the question of which one are they going to be using, Westor or Chowie. Westor has always been great in being able to get other laners ahead. Of course, he falls behind incredibly early on, but they have been favoring Chowie. And Chowie has been great in early points of the game. He can rotate to one side. But you know, you can see that that's what he's doing. That's where his strength has become, and we're going to be looking at the roster: Ziv, Mountain, Chowie, On, and Albus. But it feels like Chowie can do this without having to fall behind him.
Yeah, also does a whole lot more damage as well in comparison. The percentage team damage when he's on the roster as opposed to Westor, unless that statistic is also completely up.
Well, I feel like that also has a lot to do with the different strategies. Or
and that and not split pushing all the time as well. Perhaps more team fight damage. I think
We
that
should
is
have probably
obviously
looked
an
at the damage to minions, which Westor would certainly have.
I'll say one thing, and the damage to champions, the support, Albus, definitely has an edge on that one. Definitely because he plays brand support quite frequently. So, like, that's a champion that teams are suddenly having to have to ban. And if you're talking about a support player that likes to, not so much cheese, but has a different pick, aka Leona, then you knew I was going
I was
there.
getting so excited. I was
I
like,
actually wanted to
Leona
go there as
player.
well. That was like going to be my next one. But Leona's being played in the LPL. You can't play Scrappy against these
Well,
guys.
I just want to see what I feel like if these support players decide to just hold off on the second phase and go into it, we're going to go into the LPL roster. RNG, on the other hand.
Yeah, it's Let Me, MLXG, Xiaohu, Y4, and Ming, their new shot caller, the Leona player in question we're talking about. And this guy is explosive. He's very heavy roam, very heavy playmaking ability. Look for things like Leona. He'll probably stay traditional. But RNG have pulled out a
It has been banned away from MLXG this year, and that is the Nocturne. They are very good at using this duo and actually having just a very aggressive, kill heavy jungle bottom.
적을 처치했습니다.
Of course you would.
That's for sure. They need to play Diana in the mid lane for this tap. Not going to happen though. Going to the mid lane for RNG. Xiaohu, I want to save the last
아군이 당했습니다.
He is a shining light for RNG.
Yep, Little Tiger has really grown up and into his own. He is definitively the best player on the team right now. He's having a career high. He has never played better than he is this split.
I always wondered where the pressure was coming from, because initially it was like, okay, MLXG and Xiaohu together, they work incredibly well, but then we started getting MLXG was performing at the car, and so you start to see Xiaohu perform well regardless and look to rotate towards the side lanes, get Let Me an extra hand.
And a super interesting dynamic as well as you're seeing between these mid laners. The Xiaohu, yes, is in form, but they also have a very shared champion pool, with Talia actually being the cream of the crop here when you look at mid laners. He wants to run let's just say you have the Leona Nocturne. Well, there is a mid laner that you'd want to put there with that to be able to rotate, lock people in place, and use that duo, and that is actually the Talia. And Xiaohu has looked so good on that champion that it will be hotly contested.
And it's not just the damage that he can output with Talia, it's how they use the Talia to close off objectives. RNG and the LPL used to be known for very early Barons, and then once they had the Baron, it was like a one-hit wonder. They would just steamroll over you. And a lot of that was because of how they used the Talia wall, not only to secure the Baron by locking teams out, but then
matchup, because you talked about Ziv being from top lane. We'd love to see that 1v1 happen between Let Me and Ziv. What's the thing about Xiaohu is that regardless of Echo going towards that Ziv always has to have A or B, just in the back of his head, that paranoia that you're never.
Yeah, we need to have the mountain check on as well. Because I feel like every time we see out of the LMS, we go back to like, what state is Mountain in at the moment? I recently saw one of his incredible highlight. Baron still plays, but is this what he's doing every single game, or is he still the Mountain that we're asking questions of almost every time we see him?
A bit of both. I mean, he's not going to be getting Baron every time, so I can't say that. I like how he's early on prioritizing just getting the top lane ahead of a lot of the time. So Ziv is always on a top lane playing field as well as the mid lane. So currently, his early game, I would say, is pretty decent. That's what he's expected of. He's a role player, and so I think top lane is
Top laners when you've got Ziv on your team. Way to win the game. You contrast that though with RNG. Usually it was get bottom lane fed, and they've started to switch up their styles just that little bit more. And here, contrasting junglers, I would almost say prioritize mid over top, because Let Me's probably not going to work on the back himself. But I feel like if you leave Ziv on an island, he will be able to at least control that lane.
That kind of talks about what are the fans. Last time we saw in they weren't afraid of black picking the field. And so if they're going to be going to these, I guess, top lane picks that really do need extra help early on, then you will expect them to I mean, you expect everyone to be on the list. That's as much as you can. And so we'll see if that's a part of the map that they can try and see.
And again, we're looking at different trajectories for these teams. You know, J Team Clash Wolves, they come in, they're looking to cut their international teeth and make a statement. AHQ and Machi, they're in kind of a different boat. AHQ, yeah, they're the international representative that the audience is used to, but they're just trying to stay afloat in the LMS, you know, kind of right the ship, figure out what's going on. Is it Westor? Is it Chowie? Where's the problem, and patch up the holes? So coming into this tournament, it's a very different vibe for AHQ in particular.
Well, it's just a very delicate time of the year for every single team that's going to be competing at the middle of the season. So you're starting to world's part of the split. So right now,
getting that extra seed, and you start to, you're going to be able to get that, right? AHQ has been that team that's always gone the extra mile, and being in the 4th position is not something you want. Definitely not a comfortable spot.
Not going to get you there. We'll see whether AHQ can make it happen now up against RNG. Hopping into Champions League, we're going to see Slide across to a grab. Back at the end, trying to explain what is going to happen in this Tokyo element clash, which I am incredibly excited about because I want it to be something like this.
I feel like that makes one of it. Saying that, hey, it was exciting. You know, it was it's just there's limits to what everyone wants.
Hey, that's true. You're the analyst, whereas I just want to. Very confusing. And we certainly got that. We already have bans coming through thick and fast. That is going to be the Karma, the Caitlyn, and the Elise Bandart on the blue side, as Zac and Galio have already been taken away by a triple blunt against Tech Bubble of the Sand throughout his entire career. That's been his go-to lady.
Yeah, take that from Xiao, who does still leave open the rep side if they really want to prioritize that in the jungle role. And with Thresh, namely, of course, with the Elise ban and with Zac Galio gone, I would say Thresh is just about all 3 of them.
Also a really difficult one to then pick Brand into if Albus did want to go for something like that. And we were talking about contested mid lane picks. Now the Hover
very early rotation if they commit to that one. And I'm not surprised that they do, because we mentioned again, it's Xiao who's best champion above and beyond, has looked fantastic on it. Chowie has it, so it's a shared champion between the two in that pool. It means that they don't necessarily hold on to the mid lane role for RNG, and they're on blue side. And so the counter pick may be going to top lane now for AHQ.
Well, it is going to be the Lee Sin locked away from Mountain. I thought that something from the jungle may not necessarily be locked in until the last round. They could have tried to get a priority carry just because Mountain has, you know, Gragas, like what MLXC has just locked in. And of course, the Reckless still available for him as well, which is going to go completely unnoticed. Let me do, of course, claim that Gragas wants to. Pick something up. It's going to be able to suggest something like an AD carry, keep their options open, but of course, you never know with RNG.
You might want to round out your bottom lane, but again, they've seen the Talia. They can counter pick with whatever they like. Corki has the same idea as a Syndra lane with Talia is that if they use the W, dash at them before they can actually get out the combos and beat them down.
Smack him in the face. That is going to be the Braum having a look at here by AHQ, so not opting to pick up an AD carry. They get a straightaway ban out the Callista.
So
Not going to be able to grab them.
They're banning AD carries because they have the first rotation, you have to imagine, but RNG haven't responded with AD carry bans of their own. It's still a shared champion between both teams. So AHQ needs to be careful. If they ban another AD, RNG may be there. Well, for a penny into account.
Yep.
We're a Nocturne Leona team. We may as well just cheese another job.
Really hard to get here, but I would certainly be impressed by it. What necessarily happened? You've got Corki, AD carry. Corki Leona was always a fantastic
The premise of
lane.
this, of course, is that they wouldn't ban an AD carry second if you're AHQ, and as you can see, it's going to be a rumble.
Yeah, okay. You're just trying to get me away from trying to work out this team composition, Rusty.
A little bit.
I understand that. It was pretty awful. As Renekton is going to be the final ban here from RNG, still focusing on the towards the top side, and that is going to equal 3 top lane bans as the Ashe will be considered by AHQ to round out that front.
Like that as it is. Going to the AD, meaning their top lane will be the pick Ziv, star player of the team. That one, blocking their AD carry. And still towards the top lane with the Rumble gone, Renekton gone, Fiora gone, you'd be looking towards a Jarvan, almost as a pick of necessity.
Rumble does have a decently large champion pool to go with. It does have to blind pick it theoretically, unless I'm going to get it.
They really want to give them Gragas, that's right. But this makes the most sense, it should just be the lock. And AHQ should know that fact and be ready to put something in.
But it is still a flex pick. They could switch it up. We've been seeing J4 in the jungle more often than not. And MLXG even plays it completely off meta. As here we go, it's going to be the Jax locked away here for Ziv. Something that we've been seeing more and more recently.
And I think this is the only time where I would look at RNG and say, yeah, it can be a flex if you'd like, but the Gragas top lane, with the changes not having the 3 Doran's rings, is not ideal, especially into a Jax matchup. You're just kind of giving the scaling over to Ziv. So they're going to stick with the J4, it looks like, and I'm not going to say that's the best matchup in and of its own right. Jax will start to scale up naturally against literally everybody under the sun, but there is still a lot of gank pressure up there with MLXG working with Let Me. They've got the capabilities to take Ziv out early and try and just empower Let Me to carry for the rest of the match. Yahoo has got his own version of Talia that is in the meta with Corki with the package, and then Xiaohui's got Talia. So there's going to be a lot of roaming from this middle lane to see where they can impact the rest of the map, which is honestly quite volatile.
Yeah, of course, both of these mid laners are likely to get themselves out of the way. We've seen Xiaohui's new and improved Talia pick in that mid lane, and Xiaohu is always wanting to get out of lane as soon as possible, whichever state of whichever team. MLXG, he's always the question mark, but he's back on what is old and new comfort in the Gragas. And the bouncy castle top lane could certainly be an opportunity. It's not necessarily a Renekton Elise, but that is still amazing game pressure coming out from both of these champions.
But to be perfectly honest with you, Atlas, I look at both of these team compositions, and I still feel like I would lean to the side of AHQ with just the end result of what they've got for themselves. Ashe, Braum, utility bottom lane. Braum, a good pick into Xayah, of course being able to deny the feathers, and then Ashe can give you an engaged storm to the Thresh if Xayah ever decides to get the heck out. And then Braum's going to be able to block any kind of follow-up in the first place. They set themselves out to the utility lane. You've got the Jax who always is going to ways. The scary part, I mean we said this last game, is what can RNG do early?
Well, they can certainly face check this brush. Ziv has to use his flash. The hook was certainly on point, so Ming is going to get out. So nice start for RNG, and that is certainly something that they can do.
That's where they start now. I think AFK, and let me just show this early in the game, RNG. They get the Jax flash, which is
that is a lot of volume. If he gets the slow, he wants to hold on to his flash. He does
Xiaohui's going to overexert himself to try and go with the way I'm actually blocking.
Gragas does go down relatively low, but he should be able to.
And J4 is going to spend some time with it. Maybe take the first, but it's massive. some health back anyway. You'll be okay if you're actually in this situation. At the same time, Ziv's able to grant a rather nice leash start for Elysium by having the counter-strike there. And we're starting on the top side of the map. That's the biggest takeaway. Remember, Jack's no flash. Always going to be impactful. To contrast that though, Xiaohui's going to have himself.
Right now, MLXG is going to be able to take down his blue buff, but both of the junglers starting on the top lane.
Yeah, so the only one that's going to be there is Mountain. Towards the Crux. To contrast this, MLXG's wolf towards Raptors is prioritizing his red buff first and probably smite it, then go to the Raptors. We also know that Xiaohui's starting to move towards there, is about to ward for it. That's risky because he'll be revealing himself just to clear the jungle. That's actually a very long journey from Xiaohui. I thought he was warding for the Raptors, his bottom.
Yep, yeah, that's not warding.
They're engaging.
That's Y4 getting exhausted. Using the flash, Albus flash is on top of him as well. They're looking for an early first blood, and they should be able to get it. As Xiaohui's the one that picks it up. Albus now potentially in trouble and getting hooked, but it doesn't matter. AHQ on the board at not even 3 minutes in.
But Xiaohui just thinks he's Aurelion Sol, apparently. That is a ridiculously early roam coming out of a Taliyah, using the wall, going through the jungle next to MLXG. And there is a ward at that red buff. That almost spotted him as well. That's how close it was. Of course, Xiaohui's going to skirt the walls. Able to avoid that fantastic early gang.
The thing that's crazy as well is that RNG had a ward on that Raptor. They knew the mountain stayed up towards the top side, which is why they're playing a little bit more aggressively. Just weren't quite expecting the old roam at level 3.
No one expects him to go bottom. They warded where he was going to ward, and he was gone for an extra 5 seconds. And by the time you announce that fact, he's already gone.
Crazy stuff. And now, not going to get 3 buff either, as you're right, he just cleared that full top side. He's going to take care of his jungle. Quite nicely. MLXG has gone back and fought himself the beginnings of his jungle out.
Of course, just go to the Scuttle Crab now if you're Lee Sin. You get a cheeky recall in there. Very easily done, honestly. So you come back to MLXG. By no means jungle is falling. It's just not going to clear as fast as that Lee Sin, who's purposed himself to a full clear. It's almost like the Taliyah has become the jungler in this one.
Yeah, and Xiaohui's going to get aggressed on here by Xiaohui. He doesn't have a lot of mana remaining. These pebbles are going to explode, but he does avoid that damage, and Mountain now looking to try and pray. Exactly right. I did want to ask some questions about Xiaohui. He's in a little bit of trouble. He's taking the Warlord's
exhaust.
And has exhaust, and has Aiden. This guy has changed.
아군이 당했습니다.
I mean, Warlord
아군이
Plus is the
당했습니다.
standard for LPL corkies. I can't speak for every region, of course.
I like it though.
Immediately, so it's good for lane trading. But you go towards the Warlord's Bloodlust build because your build has shifted. You're not going to go towards any lifestealers. Mountain, say hello.
Devil. That's a lot of damage out of MLXG. He does have a flash to follow, but Mountain just waits for the first guy to get himself out.
Yeah, everything was used by MLXG. There was no chance of a follow-up. So it was a little bit cute from Mountain. Loses most of his health as a hook connects.
Yeah, that should be
포탑이
out there as well.
파괴되었습니다.
Just going to be trades.
포탑을
That's the
파괴했습니다.
matchup with the Braum being able to block the pebbles. So there's not going to be a follow-up stun from any kind of threat hooks to connect unless he gets them out early as the hook connects. So ultimately, Mountain is at the same time mid lane, just to come back to that Corky point for you as well, because the itemization choices is Trinity Force into 2 crit items. You have Warlord
Magic crits are the course. It used to be just Anivia. Now you get 80% magic crits from the course.
Certainly a thing that is really hard to build resistance for.
Unfortunate. You build a Randuin's Omen against the magic damage shield.
You still build Randuin's because it reduces crits at all.
I'll write that down when I'm facing my next Anivia. Build Randuin's.
적을 처치했습니다.
Still go back to base. I will be looking towards still on the top side of the map. But I'm very proactive.
streamlined. The point to actually note there was they were in the perfect spot and didn't even realize it. They were looking for the threat. And then he actually just wanders in behind them like, what on earth are you doing here?
Like that. The chair's really tall. Yeah. They all came up. Oh, there he is. Okay, Xiaohu's going to be able to grab a blue buff in a brief moment of normalcy. 600 gold is now the lead for AHQ, however, after that first blood, equating to approximately that amount, meaning that the rest of this round is relatively even.
These jugglers are just having a grand time.
It's a punch on.
They're looking for the second red buff. They've got Corki also, who has push pressure in the mid lane. They've also got the Jarvan pushing top. So actually Mountain probably might want to exit the area promptly.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people coming down. Mountain doesn't want to give this one up, but he has to. It's going to be all the burst coming out of MLXG, and they do lock that one down. So
And that's the advantage of pushing lanes. Exactly right. They're able to secure themselves one buff back in their favor. The immediate movement from AHQ. Remember, all the wards were placed earlier, and it's like he is actually just a
Counter-Strike, zip. Whoa!
It begins.
Exactly right. The ultimate extended trade.
What Mountain's doing here, speaking of trade, is that nothing is the answer there. They've got to stay out of the trade. Trying to cheat towards his own people there to try and push them off it, just to secure a kill, not even just actually secure a kill with that. So far, pretty sound. Refusing never really count on White for doing anything forwards. Desire, the lantern nearby.
Another counter-strike. Just seems to be able to make these trades work every single time on the side of Zip.
Leah's also has the blue buff, so Lemmy has to respect that fact. And they're looking for a place in bottom lane RNG, which is why they need to respect that. MLXG was nowhere near that area.
적을 처치했습니다.
Safe.
Look towards Mountain. What is the Lee Sin going to do? They have at least assumed knowledge of where the Gragas is going to be. He's got free reign of the river. Mountain is still expecting a gank to be top lane. In fact, with the trades we've seen in the past, Lemmy might die soon.
Yeah.
He's still looking to counter them.
He's actually just decided not to come back in. Big strike should be available soon, but it's just goes for that trade and
here,
Mountain just doesn't do much. Yeah, exactly. Interesting.
That's too much respect.
But I guess AHQ, they don't necessarily have the onus on them to try and get this work done. Slowly but surely.
Really loud noise. The map is running towards them. Back away. Talia's going to grab mid. And only when Talia sees the Corki, which was right then, do AHQ step up. So playing simple League of Legends, playing an
And measured play isn't necessarily something that we've associated with RNG in the past. It seems to still not necessarily be there, as AHQ are looking pretty smooth on Summoner's Rift for now. MLXG doesn't get the steal, but may actually get a kill.
Oh, that kick!
That kick was so cute. It's a package not enough to quite get him over, and that Ash Arrow not going to find the target. More double teleports coming in as Let Me looks for the flag and drag, finds it. Cataclysm goes down, but brilliant exhaust stops the damage.
LXG's
Meanwhile,
dead.
LXG is going to be taken down by
적의
Joey.
억제기가
It's
곧 재생산됩니다.
it's just
Mountain.
all going wrong for RNG. Lepney dies as well. My God, AHQ played that out so
Mountain with the smallest amount of health remaining is able to get out alive, trading and beating Let Me when it matters most.
적을
So well
처치했습니다.
executed, honestly, from all of the AHQ roster. And it all started with a brilliant kick coming from the lead. After securing the objective, which is already with that tempo advantage they're picking up for themselves, this could not go any better for them, honestly, at the start of this game.
a lot of good news stories to come out for AHQ. Pretty sad so far.
Of course, MLXG's body slam is gone. He flashes. Not only does he kick into the chooses to back away, and then Braum comes in to save the day. The timing on that exhaust was picture perfect. Xiaohu, he's immediately gone. MLXG is already dead, and with no health remaining, he gets to waddle away.
Yeah, exceptional exhaust. People coming out from behind as well now. Multiple times down to about half an hour back. He's dead.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, he's got this crazy evenness towards the top side of the map. Slowly,
They actually swapped spots. I was hoping we were
I was
gonna see
hoping
that.
they'd bomb. I guess that happened.
But still, you're right. You mentioned the bottom lane pressure. You can see how that's now been exerted by Talia, who is also looking